Welcome to Spoonful of Courage. I'm Dr. Chuck, and I'm here with Pastor Rick Craig. And Rick Craig has written a book called When It's Time, and you can find this book on Amazon. Who needs to read this book, Pastor Craig?
Yeah, that's the best question. So look at it this way. Everybody needs to read the book, and the follow-up question is why? And here's why. So when you have a group of people around any subject matter that either don't know a lot about the subject, they have a different vision, they have a different plan, they have a different agenda, you need a facilitator. You need somebody to come in and guide that conversation so that you find unity in that and there's discovery. So each and every chapter designed exactly like that. So if you had 5 people, for example, come in and sit down and they're going to talk about a subject matter that everybody thinks they know something about, but they really don't, who's going to guide that conversation? Well, you bring in the therapist or the facilitator, and you go through the chapter, and there's talking points at the very end of each chapter to say, we need to talk about that. So when you do that, you've got common language, you've got a common goal, trying to find an area where everybody can agree. You ask questions that I can guarantee you most people don't know, and then you have discussion about those. So it brings everybody together, and the book then becomes the mentor or facilitator, guiding people in that conversation. It gives them education, gives them talking points, gives them direction, takes away a lot of the confusion, and takes away a lot of the arguments. So the book is for everybody, but especially when you have groups of people where they sit down and they say, I have a vision. And the one beside them says, but I have a vision that's different than yours.
Yes, that's kind of we say doctors, you get 5 different doctors in the room and you get 20 different opinions, but Pastor, but in the reality of life, Pastor Rick, families often have dysfunction. We've all got issues. We've all got relational things. We've got emotional wounds. What do you tell a family, maybe someone who's looking at death? We know maybe they have cancer and they're looking at death. What would be some tips that you would tell that person as he prepares and tries to, talks about in the Bible how to get your house in order? What would be the main thing that you would tell them besides get your book?
Yeah. Let's say, for example, it's the husband. My recommendation would be sit down with your wife or whoever those people are in your family, that you can have an honest conversation without interruption, expressing your desires and needs at the time. Then from that, if you read the book and you read the particular chapters that the discussion is going to be about topically, then you can say, let's have a discussion about that, because this is going to guide us through that discussion. But that person needs to have safe people in a safe environment where they can express what they want for end of life. It's so important, because when that doesn't happen, everything from that point forward is a guess.
I know you as a pastor have seen this so many times, and as a doctor, I see this. There's often, when those things are not addressed, it just causes a multitude of problems. The family fights over all kinds of things, over inheritance, over all kinds of things. Even we talked about burial and all those things. There's so many things and it's such an emotionally charged time. And so often families become estranged after this. And I love what you said on another segment, that your family either inherits your plan or they inherit your problem. Man, how wise that is. And I think the take home message, the spoonful of courage that I've got from all of our conversations is that we need to start a conversation and we need to know what to talk about. And that's what I love about your book. As I read your book, Pastor Rick, so many things came to mind that I'd never really thought about. Mm-hmm. And so I really just want to encourage our audience to check this book out. When It's Time, it's available on Amazon, and we'll have some links for you. Also, check out Pastor Rick's link at whenitstime.org. I'm Dr. Chuck, and we've been here with Pastor Rick Craig. And Pastor Rick, it's just a privilege to have you on the show. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule just to sit down with us.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a great conversation, and I just love being with you, Dr. Chuck.
Same here, Pastor Rick.
Yep. Take care. Good to see you.
Good.